Calling All Platforms is a production of Supporter Sound Studios. To learn more about how you can support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/callingallplatforms.
Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland.
Oh boy, let's do this.
Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean,
Put it in somebody's pants and have them sit on it.
Switch on and switch off. Oh, sorry. I'll go back to my hole.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
I'm just so used to barfing right now.
I really don't see Apple ever doing that.
I am the villain. I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing. Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast. I am your host, Wes, and I'm here with Landon.
Hello.
And Caleb.
Hi.
And we are here to talk all things tech, you guys, and games this week.
Yes.
There was a few games. There was maybe a XO event.
Executive officer event?
Executive officer
Because
19.
that's what XO means.
In some places, I guess.
Everywhere. I don't care who you are.
I guess it could mean 100.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could go on a tangent about X
No.
if you want to. So Landon, X. No.
Nope. Nope. That's Caleb's thing.
That's true. No, that's not his thing. That's his tumor right there. That's
I wish I could get it excised. Oh. Puns.
nice. That was a good one.
Okay. Let's move on now.
Should we move on?
Please.
Speaking of tumors, let's talk about Apple.
Hey!
Why don't you go ahead and take it away there, Spedlove?
Is that a
Okay.
Steve Jobs joke?
Oh! Dang, son! Hey, I threw it there, but I guess you took it. All right, well, I don't know if I should feel bad or...
Wow.
I think
I'm really not sure where to. Okay, so
Apple news.
Speaking of the house that Steve Jobs
I
built,
guess, spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Jobs is dead, so...
okay. Apple, they're a company. They sell products, and they introduced a new product this past week. That Landon's not going to be able to talk about because he is laughing too hard. Okay. 16-inch MacBook Pro. There have been rumors about this laptop for quite some time, and Apple released it.
Finally.
With zero fanfare. Just kind of
True.
just plopped it onto their online store on a Wednesday and said, all right, have it. It's all yours. So, let's talk about what the 16-inch MacBook Pro actually is after all the speculation and everything, and just go ahead and say Ming Chi Kuo's reports were all right because the dude does his research. Anyways, so this is replacing outright the 15-inch MacBook Pro. The 15-inch MacBook Pro is no longer a thing. Now we have the 16-inch MacBook Pro. It is basically the same size.
Yes.
It's a tiny bit thicker, and I believe because it is thicker, if you open one up sitting next to a 15-inch MacBook Pro, it'll look like it's a tiny bit taller, but it's not actually. It's just thicker, so it sits a little bit higher off the ground. It starts at the same price as the 15-inch MacBook Pro, and basically what they've done is they've made a larger screen by just pushing the bezels down to basically nothing.
Thank goodness.
They've
been needing to do that for, 10 years?
I mean, they did it with the 2016 MacBook Pro. It was thinner than the previous generation, which was thinner.
Yeah.
They've been thinning it down pretty consistently. But yeah, in 2016, those bezels were acceptable. 2019, not so much. But now the bezels are really tiny. Looks very nice. They have also increased the battery size on this thing. Like I said, it is a little bit thicker. That's to accommodate the battery and also some other stuff. But let's talk about the battery now. It's now 100 watt hours in the 16-inch MacBook Pro, which is literally the largest battery that you can carry, like the largest single battery you can carry onto an airplane.
Yes.
So this is as big as it can go without violating FAA regulations. So there you go.
They did that on purpose.
Oh yes. Oh yes. But it is for all of the haters out there that are all like Apple never cares about battery. They literally can't make it any bigger, guys.
Nope.
So there you go. It's going to be shipping with a larger 96 watt charger as well. So that'll be nice. And the other reason that it is thicker is they have ditched the butterfly keyboard.
Yay.
Butterfly switch is gone. They've replaced it with the Magic Keyboard off of their desktop line, which for anyone who's been paying attention to Apple keyboards over the past decade knows it's exactly the same keyboard as was on the MacBook Pro before the butterfly.
They just didn't want to call it the same thing because
Right.
that would be saying the butterfly was bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason they never switched to it with their desktop keyboards. And it turns out there was a reason they never should have switched to it with their reliability. It's
Accurate.
reliability.
Yes.
That's the reason. So yes, they've switched back to a standard scissor key mechanism that is basically the same thing as the desktop versions, like I said, but it is a tiny bit thinner and has a little bit less travel from what I have been led to understand, and I have not seen iFixit's teardown yet. That should be going live shortly, but from what I have heard, that is because the keycaps are physically thinner on the laptop versus the desktop. So if you want to replace the laptop keycaps with the desktop keycaps, you're actually going to be adding a little bit of height to the keys. So
It may not close very well after that.
right, yeah, you'll close it, and
Although-
the keys will be constantly depressed.
That's how you could get your Panda MacBook Pro. White keycaps
Yeah. Ooh.
on a space gray laptop.
I mean, but why would you do that?
You suggested it. I don't know.
hate the white keycaps, frankly. And honestly, the sooner Apple brings the black keyboard to the rest of the desktop lineup, the better, because I have been dealing with cleaning off the freaking white keyboard for so many years now that I'm going to flip. Anyways.
I thought about buying that black keyboard with my Mac Mini,
Oh,
but it was like $30 more just
Yeah.
for a black one. Like,
Yeah.
there's no difference here.
It's literally a $90 keyboard just to have a black anodization on the aluminum and black keycaps.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, guys. That's not whatever. Anyways, so there it is. They've also switched back to the old style T-shaped or upside down T-shaped arrow keys instead of the side arrows being full height keys, which was frankly a stupid idea to begin with, and I'm so glad they switched back. So, good
Yes.
stuff there. They have also added a physical escape key that now sits up next to the Touch ID, or
Also
next
a
to the
good
Touch
thing.
bar. And the Touch ID sensor is no longer integrated into the Touch bar. It is a separate button like on the MacBook Air. They've upgraded the audio on this thing quite a bit. They now has like 6 speakers on it or something like that, with 2 subs that they say are what was it? Vibration canceling. So they're doing some kind of analysis in software to change how the subs respond to the music to reduce or minimize the amount of vibration in the actual chassis of the laptop. From what I've heard, it actually is pretty nice if you're listening to music and typing. It's not vibrating your wrists as much as it used to, so that's nice. They've also added a 3-way studio mic array, and I think that it's kind of silly to call this studio because it's obviously not studio-grade audio hardware, but I have listened to the recordings of it versus the old MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, and it's significantly better.
Yes. And as an audio guy myself, when I heard that, I was like, wrong. But then I heard the microphone. I'm like, okay, yes, definitely better than any other laptop microphone you can get built in.
Yep.
But if you want to do anything with audio, buy a microphone.
Yeah.
Because, no, it's still not that good. I mean, it's yes, much, much better. A lot less room noise. There's still room noise, and you're still sitting at least a foot, probably more like 2 or 3 away from this microphone. It's not going to sound great.
Basically what it means is that you can do a video chat with somebody for work or a video conference call or something with a client, and it will sound better.
Yeah.
And they will have a good impression of you. That's kind of the thing. It's honestly for a professional use case where you're video conferencing. That's what that mic is there for. And for that, like you said, it's better than any other laptop out there. So good option. Other than that, it's the same basic look, same ports, same pixel density on the monitor, though obviously that means it is more pixels because it's a larger monitor. But they kept the pixel density the same. It is generally very, very similar to the 15-inch, except just has a bigger screen, some better audio equipment, better keyboard, bigger battery. There you go. It pretty much covers the whole thing. So, you can have the thing with a 2.6 gigahertz base clocked 4.5 boost clocked 6-core i7 with 16 gigs of RAM, a 512 gig SSD, and a Radeon Pro 5300M for $2,400. So that was the starting price of the old 15-inch MacBook Pro. And, getting a 6-core processor for that starting price makes sense. 16 gigs of RAM for that starting price makes sense. 512 gig SSD. I'm pretty sure the 15-inch started with a 256.
Yeah, that's nice.
So Apple finally throwing us a bone in the storage department. Thank you. Now, if you will please stop selling lower-end devices with 128 gigs of internal storage,
Please.
that would be nice. So there you go. Pretty good laptop. And the Radeon Pro 5300 is a variant of the RDNA architecture that is currently in the 5700 and 5700 XT desktop parts. So we don't actually have performance metrics for this mobile GPU yet because it's new. So cool. But I expect it to be better than the Vega GPUs that were in there before. That's kind of a low bar. But yeah. All right. Now, let's talk about the maximum configuration on this thing.
Ooh, here we go.
2.4 gigahertz base clock, 5 gigahertz boost clock, 8-core i9. Because of the added thickness of this thing, supposedly the cooling has been reworked, that it will actually handle the i9 without thermal throttling itself to death. So there you go. You can configure it with up to 64 gigs of DDR4 RAM, which, daggum, in a laptop,
Wow.
that's freaking insane. And an 8 terabyte SSD. So to be clear, this is not like PCIe Gen 4, but as far as PCIe Gen 3 is concerned, this is literally as fast as SSDs can get. 8 terabytes of that. That's nuts. And a Radeon Pro 5500M, which has 8 gigs instead of 4 gigs like the 5300M. Again, we don't actually know what that thing is going to be like. Probably it's going to compete, with like a RTX 2060, maybe if we're lucky, probably more like a GTX 1660 Ti or something like that, which is better GPU performance than any other Apple portable in history, for sure. But obviously you can still get Windows laptops that have a way better GPUs in them than that, because honestly, Apple and Nvidia just need to bury the hatchet. That would be nice. Anyways, who wants to know what that one goes for?
A lot of money.
Guesses?
I'm going to guess.
Oh, yeah, guess.
Oh.
Do a guess. Have you not looked at this?
No, I haven't
wow.
looked at this.
Yes.
I'm going to guess over $6,000, but under 75.
That's a good window. What do you think, Wes?
That's about where I would say.
Okay. $6,100.
Wow.
6,100 Benjamins.
If you're spending that much,
Not Benjamins. That's 61 Benjamins, actually, if we want to be particular.
spending
about it.
that much money on a laptop, that's odd.
It is odd. And honestly, predictably, it's the storage upgrades that'll get you.
Oh, yeah.
Because frankly,
And RAM, too, I guess.
the RAM is also very expensive, but honestly, going from 500 gigabytes to a terabyte of SSD storage,
It's a lot of money.
that isn't like in a desktop part. It's not super expensive. That's actually fairly reasonably priced. And weirdly, this is actually surprising. Apple's premium charge for the 1 terabyte version versus the base, 512 gig version isn't exorbitant. It's a little bit more than upgrading to a similar thing on a desktop computer would be, but not by a ton. But then on the desktop, if you want a single SSD, single high-speed PCIe NVMe SSD that has 8 terabytes of storage on it, you're legit paying a couple of grand for that drive alone. And so Apple's prices for those storage upgrades at that size are actually not crazy. They're just not. That's actually fairly reasonable. The real question is, why on earth would anybody need 8 terabytes of SSD storage in a laptop? I can't fathom that. Because
yeah.
And I've seen a lot of coverage about this, and I agree 100% with basically everything I've seen. If you are the type of person who fills up that much storage quickly, you're a creative professional of some kind, probably a videographer, in which case you should be emptying that storage off of your laptop into some kind of vault where it then copies itself to other vaults off-site, and your data is triple backed up, and everything because this is your livelihood. And so having a couple of terabytes of storage on your laptop so that you can grab a couple of terabytes of photos or something like that every day, that makes sense. But then when you get home, you plug your computer in, an automated system backs all those photos up off onto something else and then erases them off of your laptop so that you have storage for the next day. And why would you need 8 terabytes? That's just weird. So, I don't know. That's kind of weird to me, but frankly, just kind of nice that Apple gives you the option. If you want to spend an exorbitant amount of money on a laptop with way more storage than you need, cool. Apple is happy to take your money.
Yeah, they are.
This isn't surprising. Apple is always happy to take your money.
I mean, I will say a lot of these higher end products that Apple's come out with the past couple of years, I think legitimately take on the Pro name.
Yes.
This 16-inch MacBook Pro, even at the base level, granted, I would say 16 gigs of RAM is a little less than Pro. 32, I'd say, is the minimum for most Pros. But the base value of this MacBook Pro is still, in most cases,
it's
pretty
reasonable.
close to a Pro device.
It's reasonable.
And the main thing, to me, is the 512 gig SSD.
Yeah.
At base value, that makes sense. Again, for most Pros, you're going to need at least 32 gigs of RAM, but 16 is not horrible.
Right. Well, and it depends really on what you're using the thing for.
Right.
Because especially if it's the kind of thing, like I said, where it's just a machine that you travel with in the wild, you need to do some light editing, but mostly you just need to be able to like look at your photos quickly or play back your video on a color accurate display with good speakers or something like that has a fast hard drive so that you can quickly parse stuff in the field while you're gathering content. Then that's what this is for. And then you take it back to your studio, you plug it in, and you transfer all that stuff over to another machine that is what you're actually going to edit, that is the workhorse. Right. And in that case, 16 gigs is probably fine. And you probably want more than 512 gigs of storage. If you're the type of person who you do all of your editing on the device or you're coding, you're doing a ton of code on device or something like that, then yeah, 32 gigs of RAM, but you probably don't need more than 512 gigs of storage. So actually, those two configurations of it are probably going to meet most people's needs.
Right.
Either the 32 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, or 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage will probably cover the vast majority of use cases for this laptop. And then obviously you can have 64 gigs of RAM and 8 terabytes of storage if you're insane. So, like I said, Apple is happy to take your money. But I agree with you. This feels like a Pro laptop. Like, for once, I look at this thing, I look at the base spec and the price and go, okay. And then I look at the top end spec and go, daggum, that's really expensive, but it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
And, why anybody would spend that much money on a laptop that expensive, I don't know. But is the laptop overpriced? Maybe not, actually. Like, it's kind of weird. Apple is, meeting expectations or something. I don't know.
Weird.
And listening to their customers too by replacing the keyboard and putting a physical escape key on it, and so on and so forth. So there you go.
That's the other thing that makes it a Pro. Physical escape key.
Physical escape key. Yeah. According to Phil, that was evidently the number one complaint about the Touch Bar.
Oh, I bet, because it would always just disappear.
Yeah.
It's like, I need that, and it's just not there anymore, and I can't bring it up anywhere.
Yep. So there you go. 16-inch MacBook Pro. Apple releases an actual MacBook Pro. So good for them. Now they either need to put a discrete GPU in the 13-inch model or stop calling it a Pro.
Please. Call that one the Air.
Or just the MacBook.
Or just that. Yeah.
That one can be a MacBook. The thin one that's shaped like a razor blade is called the MacBook Air, and then the big one is called the MacBook Pro. I've been saying this for years.
True.
It only makes sense.
Anyways. So
that's why they're not going to do it.
Probably. I don't know. They've been doing some rather sensible things over the past. Look at the freaking AirPods Pro. Those are perfectly sensible. All of the changes they made, it's all these are just nice, sensible improvements to this product.
But that's another one in the naming scheme that just doesn't make sense with the word Pro.
Well, yeah, that's true.
iPhone Pro, AirPods Pro, they're not Pro.
They're not Pro. They're just the high-end version of a consumer product.
Yeah.
But this 16-inch MacBook Pro, I wouldn't recommend any consumer buy that thing. Frankly, if you're not using it to do work, then why?
Yeah.
You know,
What's
you
sad
should
is there's
probably
gonna
be buying
be-
a MacBook Air.
There's going to be a lot of regular consumers that be like, "Ooh, I want the big screen," and they're going to buy it because it's got the bigger screen.
Yeah, they should probably be buying an iMac.
True. For a lot less money.
Yeah.
Same configuration. Probably a grand less.
Yeah. Yep. Turns out miniaturization, it's a bugger. Anyways, that's all the Apple news that I got. Is just that one product. So sweet.
Sweet. You have any other general tech?
No,
Nothing.
just
All
some
right.
gaming stuff.
Well, we can always count on that. All right, Landon. What do you have for us?
I'm going to start with some general tech news because it's bigger news than anything Google did this week.
Yes, it is.
And that is the Motorola Razr
Ah, yes.
is back.
Yes.
And it is awesome. Now, I want to start this off before I read the specs, saying that they've been working on this phone for 4 years.
And apparently they locked down the hardware quite early on as well.
Yes, that's why I wanted. I think they locked down the hardware a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, and that based on the specs, that makes sense. And I get it at the same time because trying to fit anything into a design like this that's as thin as this is,
Yeah.
it makes sense that you need to. Okay, we're gonna use this chip, all this stuff, make it work.
And then
Yeah.
we're going to spend 2 years designing a phone around that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
So spec-wise, it's not the greatest phone by any means, and I don't think anybody was really expecting it to be. So I'm just going to go through these really quick. It's got a Snapdragon 710, which one of the reasons they went with the 700 series versus like the 800 series is battery. Because the battery on this thing is a 2510 milliamp hour battery, which makes sense. If you look at it, it's ridiculously thin.
Yeah.
And to fit anything bigger would be a pain in the butt.
Yep.
And the 700 series batteries, along with the 600 series chips, are much better in battery life than the 800 series. So I get it. It's got 6 gigs of RAM, which actually surprised me. I was expecting 4 based on when they locked this thing down.
Right.
128 gigs of storage, which is also good. It has one 16 megapixel main camera and then a 5 megapixel selfie camera when it's open. It's got that camera. And it's launching with Android 9, but Motorola says they are already working on getting Android 10 on it sometime early next year. But that's all the main specs. The display on it has a 6.2 inch 2142 by 876 display on the main display, which is 21 by 9.
Yay.
So for video and stuff, this is actually a great phone.
Yep.
And then on the outside, when it's folded up, it's got a 2.7 inch 600 by 800 display. And that display is mostly for notifications. And you can actually use that for if you want to use the camera, take a selfie with the main 16 megapixel camera. That's
There's your
really
viewfinder.
There
nice.
you go.
Yeah. I mean, this phone it's awesome.
It really is.
Yes.
Now, the two unfortunate sides of this phone. One, it's exclusive to Verizon in the US.
Yeah.
And 2, it's $1,500. Although, considering the technology that is needed for a phone like this, that's not horrible, especially when you look at the Samsung phone that costs $20 less than $2,000.
Yep.
And it breaks.
Yep.
This one looks way more durable.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
Caleb
yeah.
and I were talking about this before. So, Motorola, they're owned by Lenovo. They worked, the Motorola division worked with Lenovo's laptop division to make the hinge on this thing. And it's brilliant.
Looks so good.
If you haven't already seen this, look up the Motorola Razr, and I can almost guarantee you'll find either a GIF or a video or just a picture of what this display does when it's folded up. And it's brilliant. It kind of like has like a teardrop shape when it's
Yeah.
folded, so there's no actual like main crease on this display.
Right.
And also when it starts to fold, it kind of the lower part of it drops down a little bit. So it's actually moving the whole display a little bit to make it fit even better. And so like all the videos I've seen, just these are all just initial hands-on videos. They're not, no reviews are out yet, but everyone's saying that there's almost none or no crease, like indent that you can feel
Yeah,
on this phone when it's open.
exactly.
Which the Samsung phone, you
It's
could
obvious.
visibly see it
it's so obvious
all the time, and it's you can. I'm assuming you could probably feel it because of how
yeah.
easy it is
Yeah.
to see it in
Oh,
video,
yeah.
and it's awesome.
Yeah.
This phone looks and just I don't know. It
Yeah.
seems like it's the right way to do it. Folding. I mean, even if you want to make a bigger form factor, do it this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, make at least the way it folds. It looks great.
Yes.
This and it closes. That's the other thing. This actually shuts all the way.
Yes. There's no
Whereas
gap.
the Huawei Mate X and the Samsung Galaxy Fold, there's a gap.
Yep.
And it just looks awful. And those phones are fat. This thing is thin. Like closed, it's probably as thick as it's a little thicker than a regular phone.
Yeah.
Closed.
It's closed, I believe, not counting the camera bump. Closed, it's about the same thickness as an iPhone XR. Little tiny bit thicker, like a millimeter or two. And if you do count the camera bump, that adds like another 5 millimeters onto it or
Yes,
something
it
like
is
that.
quite a large camera bump.
But, you know, like it is just once, I don't know, like I saw the thing, I saw it moving, I saw it being held up, I saw somebody snap it closed the way
Oh
that you
my
snap
gosh,
it.
yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's the phone, man.
I mean, the
Like,
nostalgia factor here
dadgum.
is at peak levels.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
this, I mean, you just look at this, you know, that's a Razr. You know
Yeah.
what this is just
Yep.
by looking at it. It's
Yeah.
now it is a little bit wider
Yes.
because of the screen, and it is a little bit thicker, but not a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a lot thicker.
No, it looks so good. And I looked at it, and I looked at it closed in somebody's hand, and I thought to myself, that'll fit in anybody's pocket.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
Absolutely.
will fit in anybody's pocket. That is a modern smartphone with a 6-inch display that will fit in anybody's pocket. Everybody who's still holding on to your iPhone SE desperately hoping for some kind of small screen device that will fit in your pockets, because that thing was the last modern phone that did. I have good news for you. Sure, it's Verizon exclusive. Sure, it costs $1,500, but there is hope. There is a bright light on the horizon that you will be able to buy a modern smartphone with all of the conveniences of a modern smartphone, a big screen and all that good stuff that will still fit in your pocket.
Yeah.
It looks so good. And sure. My iPhone XR, 6-inch display, whatever, and it's fat. This thing's a fatty boy. It fits in my pocket just fine. This is obviously not a problem for me, and the Razr phone is not going to solve a problem that I have. But I know so many people that have this problem, that have phones that they can't fit in their pants. You know, like how many times have you seen somebody shove a phone into their back pocket and you cringe because you're like, you're going to sit on that and you're going to crack it. You're going to fold it in half. Freaking don't
And
do
those
that.
ones aren't meant to fold in half.
Right. Exactly. But you know, they can't fit it in their front pockets. So like, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
Carry a holster? Like, So yes, I love the design of this thing. It looks so good. And yeah, like I think that's the right way to do a folding phone.
Yeah.
I don't care what everybody like. And I'm sorry, I have some problems with some of the tech reviewers out there that are just like, "Oh, big screen, and it's a phone, but then it's huge," and then like, you know, over the Samsung version and whatever. I'm just like, I'm sorry, what problem does that actually solve?
Nothing.
It gives me a phone that I can't use with one hand, and then the one-handed use of it is on this tiny crap screen on
And
the
it's
outside of
horrible.
it. That's awful.
Yeah.
Right? Like, no, that's not actually solving any problems. The problem that you're trying to solve here is, I need an iPad. And, okay. So, yeah, I don't, that's not really solving any problems that anybody actually has. But there's a problem that literally millions of people do have, and that's not being able to fit a phone into their pocket. And so thank you, Motorola, for actually solving a real-world problem.
Yep. So if you are one of the crazy ones and want to get this phone, I guess you're not fully crazy because this phone is freaking awesome.
It really is.
It will be available for pre-order on December 26th and available in stores January 9th of 2020. Now, the interesting thing about this phone is it only supports eSIM, so you can't just swap out your existing phone's SIM card and throw it in this one. You actually have to take it in and get it done, which kind of sucks. And there are workarounds, I've been told, with these type of devices that you can make it work off of Verizon, but that's not going to be easy, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Also, there is a giant chin on this phone, which, because Razr, but it's useful. It's got a giant speaker on the bottom of this thing. It's got USB-C, and it also has a fingerprint sensor right on top, that little home button-like thing. I don't know if it works as the home button or not, but it does work as a fingerprint sensor.
Yep.
And people want that.
Yep. It's also going to make the phone easier to hold on to for people with small hands.
Absolutely.
So that's nice.
Yes, it is.
Balances that tall screen out with some weight on the bottom.
Yeah.
Thank you, Motorola. So, I'm excited for this.
Looks so good.
Like, when it's in stores, I hate going into Verizon, but I'm going to go into Verizon to play with this phone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, first I'm going to go to Best Buy and see if they have a live device out that I can play with.
They probably will.
If they don't, I will go to Verizon and look at theirs because, man,
I want to see
it. I want to see it. I want to play with it. I was really hoping that you were going to buy one, Caleb, just so I could play around with one.
I mean, that price is a little rich for me to literally be buying it just for the lulz, but I'm still tempted.
Yeah. Oh, it just looks great.
Yes, it does.
Looks great. All right. Now on to some Google News. And this is also some good news. So, listener, I don't know if you have listened to these episodes or not, but we have talked about RCS messaging off and on over the last few years. Something I didn't bring up because I just think it's an awful idea. So the carriers in the United States have come together to bring RCS messaging to Android phones in the wrong way. They're going to do it themselves and make an app that you have to download to use this. And do not do that unless you want the carriers to know everything about you and everything that is sent between you and your friends, because they will. And they're going to use that. And I hate that. But Google has decided they're just going to roll out RCS messaging to the Google Messages app for everyone. Yay!
Go Google.
Something they should have done, a year ago when they did it in Europe.
I was going to say, it kind of feels like something they should have done when Apple released Messages. And it was like, oh, hey, how cool is all this functionality?
But at the same time, Google didn't really have... At that time, they surprisingly didn't have a messaging app.
That's true, actually, yeah.
And since then, they've gone through like 100. Now
True.
that they've kind of landed on one for the last little while and the foreseeable future, it makes sense that they're going to do this.
Fair.
I mean, they did do this, like I said, in Europe within the last year or so, and they just hadn't done it in the U.S. because the carriers were kind of skeptical on Google's version of RCS or whatnot. They wanted their own control of what was going to happen, and so they came up with their own idea and said, "Screw you, Google, we're doing this." And so Google said, "Screw you, carriers, here it is." So if you use the Google Messages app, Google says they're rolling this out widely by the end of the year. But if you use the Google Messages app, you will see a little thing that pops up and says, try RCS or something along those lines. Then you go into your settings, look at chat settings, and you can enable all of the benefits of RCS messages. So like higher quality picture messages, high quality video messages, read receipts, all these things. If somebody's typing to you, you will see that. If you're typing to them, they will see it. It's basically a lot of the benefits of iMessage on iPhone.
Yep.
Now, this won't work with iPhone, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Because there's no reason Apple would ever want to do this because they have iMessage. They don't care. And that's fine. This will work with every Android phone that has Google Messages. And that's where it's been annoying to not have something like this, other than third-party apps that you hope that the other person's using.
Right.
So I'm excited for this. I don't have it yet on my phone. I'm still waiting patiently, or impatiently, I guess. I'm randomly throughout the day just opening the Google Messages app. Oh, is it? No, it's not there. That's all my tech news
Awesome.
for today.
That is awesome. Back to that. I have a question.
Nope.
What are all the things you can do with that? I don't know anything about it, so I'm actually kind of curious.
With the RCS messaging,
Yes.
I kind of said most of it.
Is there
Yeah.
anything more other than being able to see
It
someone
really
typing?
is. It really is the higher quality video and stuff like that. It's the read receipts. It's active, like being able to see what people are doing. That also enables a whole lot of other types of interactions with the messages.
Right.
So on iOS, in Messages, for instance, which is kind of what RCS is patterned after,
Right.
Mhm.
you have the ability to react to messages and to have integrations with like sticker packs and
Think
special
Facebook
types of
messages.
GIFs. And yes, Facebook messages. Have you
Or
used
even like
Facebook
Slack.
Messenger?
Like how we'd use Slack, we can send certain
It's-
things,
yeah.
react to those comments, things like that.
Yeah.
That's basically what
It
it's going to be
enables
like.
a lot of those integrations. I don't know if Google is building those in from the get-go. I mean, in the case of Apple, they literally spent years adding them, like piecemeal.
Right.
So, but like it's the, I don't know, it's the
majority is just
convenience of it. It's
better video, better.
Well, and it's so much more reliable.
Yeah.
You're not relying on the cell carriers to take your message and pass it through their
This is going
bizarre
over
and
Wi-Fi.
archaic system. It's data.
Oh.
It's not a text message. It's
Well,
just
that'll
a
be
data
nice.
message.
Data.
And it is way more reliable than traditional SMS. So
So is that all it's doing? Is just turning SMS into that?
Right. Now, it will default to SMS if you're sending to someone that doesn't have this. So an iPhone. Like
Right.
if you're texting an iPhone, it will still be over SMS.
Yep.
Okay.
So those messages will still be how they've been forever. And to anybody that doesn't have a phone with this or isn't using Google Messages will also have this.
Okay.
But Google Messages is, I believe, the default SMS app on most Android phones other than Samsung because they have to have their own.
Yep.
Although Samsung is working with Google on this. So their messaging app also supports Google's version of RCS.
There you
So
go.
even there, you're still okay.
You know what? If Google really wants to stick it to the carriers, they need to work with Apple so that maybe all of the functionality isn't there, but the green bubbles go away.
That won't happen.
If they can get that to happen, if maybe it's not blue bubbles, maybe it's purple bubbles or something else, so that the Apple users still know they're talking to the plebes. But if they can do something so that it's just the cell carriers SMS crap or their RCS version that is green, then there's going to be like a weird social stigma, like an even bigger social stigma associated with the green bubbles, and like people will be embarrassed to use the cell carriers stuff, and they'll use Google's instead because status symbol.
And there's no reason
We're
Google...
weird social creatures,
like,
humans,
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, Google and Apple could... There's no reason they couldn't do this.
Yeah.
And I know Google and Apple both hate the carriers. Apple
Yes.
has forever.
Oh yeah, that's why messages exist.
Yeah. and like, there's no reason Apple can be like, okay, yeah, we'll support Google's version of RCS. And obviously it won't be the full iMessage suite because that's an iMessage thing.
Right.
And, that makes sense. Apple wants their thing to be their thing. And I totally understand that. And I am fine with it. But, you support this type of thing, so you still get some of the functionality behind it.
Yeah.
Mostly, the biggest thing to me is the high-quality video and picture messages.
Yeah.
Because sending a video or a picture over text message is the worst.
Yeah. Like literally, if they just make some kind of a connection between the two services so that you can send it from one end to the other with a data connection instead of having to go through the carrier's garbage, that's it. That's all they need to do. Show us a different color bubble other than green and Apple. And heck, if Google really wanted to stick it to the carriers, they could start doing the same thing. And it would actually be kind of hilarious.
That would be awesome. So, Google, Apple, if you're listening, which you probably aren't, but if you are, or if anybody that is
Bury
listening,
some hatchets, that would be great.
Please do this. That would be amazing.
That is cool. Cool. Well, I doubt my phone will get it anytime soon.
Well, if you have Google Messages, it would, actually.
Oh,
it's just
I
the
do use
Google
that.
Messages app. So
Cool. I'll keep my eye out for it, I
Yeah.
guess, now. All right, well, let's move on. Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Microsoft. Did you guys know that Microsoft's head of AI and research is leaving the company?
I do now.
Well, guess what? His name is Harry Shum, and he is leaving the company. He's been there for about 23 years.
Wow.
Whoa.
They're not sure what he's going to do next, but he will leave Microsoft in February 2020, but he's going to remain at the company for now as an advisor to Satya Nadella and founder Bill Gates.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was kind of one of the big news,
Huh.
big things that happened. So they're not sure what's happening. I know Microsoft has quite a few of these 20 plus years veterans that are leaving. Like actually on Xbox, they had Mike Ibarra. He is leaving. He's actually going to Blizzard Entertainment.
Nice.
So he was the head of Xbox for 20 some years. He was with Microsoft for 20 some years.
I was going to say, is Xbox
The last
been
thing
around
he
for that long?
the last thing he was at or working on was Xbox. So
Gotcha.
sorry, rephrase that on there. So all right, let's go ahead and move on. Another thing that's leaving Microsoft. Well, probably not leaving Microsoft. That was a bad one. Microsoft is killing Cortana for Android and iOS.
Ish.
Yay.
Yeah,
Oh.
ish.
Mostly.
So the actual
Although I will argue that because I think the users kind of did that.
Oh.
Or lack thereof, really.
Well, true.
Yeah.
Well, true. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Unless you're fanboy or you're me and you just want to keep your data somewhere,
You
in
could have
one
just
place, you
stopped at
could.
a fanboy.
well, yeah,
We
Well-
all know, Wes.
right. But Google Assistant
Oh,
has really good things about it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to compete with that, I get it. If someone's like, you know what, I like these, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, on the iPhone as well, Siri, I mean, it's Siri. There's obviously problems, and there's going to be problems with any of these assistants. Google Assistant has problems too. But Siri on an iPhone is just like, duh, it works.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
just works. And so why switch to something else?
True. I mean, so why did they do this? People are like, well, how am I going to install my new thermostat that has Cortana on it? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It no longer has Cortana on that Johnson & Johnson thermostat.
Yeah.
It is now the A word. Alexa. I was going to, whatever, I'll just say it. Alexa is on there. So that got replaced. Cortana, a lot of our things out in life are getting replaced with Alexa. I think it was obviously that business decision to combine them, and then now it's just phasing out Cortana. But Microsoft is actually moving it to the Microsoft app. So like for Office and things like that, kind of behind the scenes AI, that's where they're pushing her to. But if you are a U.S. citizen that still wants to use Cortana as your assistant, you can still kind of use her through the Microsoft Launcher app. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to on Android.
Yeah.
So if you still want to do that, go for it. I don't know how much longer that'll last, but I mean,
writing
what's
is on
happening?
the wall.
yeah, I mean, if they're going to go ahead and just pull her from everything else, that's not where they want her anymore and where they're going to push and focus her. So
May
Yeah.
as well kill her on Halo as well.
They kind of already did, actually. But then they brought her back from the dead. So
she's right now a bad guy. So
I don't know.
Well-
Oh, wait a second. Cortana's going to be Skynet.
Oh.
true.
Microsoft is slowly killing her, and she's going to come back with a vengeance. Freak! Microsoft, you're building Skynet. What are you doing?
No, what has happened is secretly Amazon bought the rights to Cortana. And that's why Alexa is replacing her and everything. And that's where this guy from Microsoft is going, is to Amazon to work on Cortana, not Cortana. And yes, they are taking over the world.
Yes. So the official date is January 31st, 2020, when this is happening. There are going to be other ways to link or install your, say, Surface headphones that use Cortana to
Ooh,
install
yeah.
that. Or if you are one of 4 of us that have a Harman Kardon with Cortana, there's going to be other ways to install her. Her. So if you're that worried, it'll be fine. Don't worry. Anyway, so she's going away. All right, well, let's go ahead and kind of more focus into gaming, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, there has been an update to the Xbox, or what do you like to call it? The X1?
The
What do you-
Tenbo 10.
The Tenbo 10.
Come on.
Just-
Obviously.
I just don't say it. Obviously. Okay. Anyway, the update, the big thing that they were talking about, it actually now, Xbox One works with Google Assistant. Speaking of assistants. So, Google Assistant now has the skill to control your Xbox for you, for everything else. Now, if you have tried to use Cortana on your Xbox, you have probably recently seen the sign that says, on Xbox, it says, Cortana no longer functions on the Xbox. Please choose another assistant. So she is no longer there as well.
They really are killing her off, huh?
Yes, they really are. So that's one of the big things there that people were wondering about for the features. They do have some, obviously, mixer viewing improvements. They've done voice to text improvements. They've also done like a settings overhaul. So like if you're trying to find something in your settings, they just made it smarter and easier to find something. Didn't have network settings in 3 different locations when you can just go to network settings. Oh, look, all the stuff's there. So it's kind of nice. So there you go. Cool. Let's move on. So Microsoft had an event called the XO19.
10-0.
The 119. You're welcome. And basically this event was a lot of gaming news, a lot of games that are coming out, ID and Xbox new world premieres and things like that. Did I do it good? I thought
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
See? So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about quick things on there that they were saying. So Game Pass is now going to have 56 more games over the holiday season. So obviously, including Flight Simulator, this is a big one that a lot of people are really wanting.
I'm actually going to try it out because
it's
included. Why not?
Deal. And what's cool is this is going to be on both the console and PC.
Yeah, I mean they better. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
PC. Like that's Microsoft Flight Sim. PC. It's PC.
I actually thought that it wouldn't have come to console though.
Yeah,
I really thought.
I was actually half expecting it not to come to console.
I did
then
too.
I was all like, wait a second, they have joysticks. That makes so much more sense than a keyboard and mouse. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
for those of us that don't have a flight yoke sitting in front of our computer.
Right. Oh, funny. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. The next thing is any Xbox Game Pass subscribers, you now have EA Access included, Discord Nitro, and Spotify trials for Spotify Premium. The EA Access is only a 30-day.
Dang it.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't play EA games on principle anyways. So.
Right. I thought that was pretty cool. Discord Nitro. I don't know what that is.
I believe it gives you the ability as a user to create your own Discord groups and do some special stuff with them.
Okay.
That normally you have to pay for in order to get like specific integrations and that kind of thing.
Well, cool. And then obviously some Spotify trials, which means trials for Spotify Premium. So is what it says. So you get up to 6 months of Spotify Premium. Thought that was pretty cool.
Not
and
bad.
Then 3 months of that Discord Nitro. So
right.
Cool. More stuff coming for Game Pass. All right, let's talk about Halo Reach.
Wait a second. You don't want to talk about the big thing that got added to Game Pass?
I'm getting there.
Oh, okay. I mean, you just sounded like you were wrapping up this is what we've added to Games Pass section. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just making sure.
The next thing for Game Pass. Game. All right, he ruined it. Anyway, Halo Reach comes to PC, which also means Microsoft will deliver Halo Reach on PC on December 3rd, which is also on Steam.
Yay!
There are pre-orders up on both platforms for Microsoft Windows.
So wait,
Steam.
have they added the Master Chief Collection to PC yet?
When you
Halo
say
Reach is the beginning of that, right?
Yeah.
They're bringing the whole Master Chief Collection to PC, and it's Halo Reach is the beginning.
Yep.
Okay. Just making
and
sure.
the way that they're going to game chronologically, not made, but the chronologically. So next will be Halo Combat Evolved, then Halo 2, then 3, then ODST, then 4.
Then 4.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And then who knows? Maybe at the end they'll put 5 in it. Who knows? By the time Infinity.
I mean, they better put 5. Like, come on.
All right, next game. Minecraft Dungeons. This is
yeah.
basically Diablo, but with Minecraft skin.
Yep.
Basically. It looks fun. I will probably hop on because it'll be on Game Pass. I don't have to pay anything, but I can try it out. It'll be fun. And I'm going to make Caleb try it with me.
Are you?
While we stream. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Just so you're aware.
It's good to know. It's good to know.
And the headers to our streams are always going to have X's on it, just because I just...
You mean tens? Just a whole bunch of
Yes.
tens.
Yes. All right. And the next thing, let's go ahead and talk about it. What's added to your Xbox Game Pass subscription is xCloud.
Yeah.
Will be a part,
Wow.
Nice.
which is great.
Yeah.
It's like kicking Stadia in the face. Kind of.
Just a bit.
Kind of. Because basically what that's saying is, like, I mean, presumably at some point in the future, they're hoping to bring everything that's on Games Pass to xCloud,
Yes.
which means that you pay for your Games Pass. If you have hardware, you can download the games, you can play the games locally with no latency, and everything is happy. But if you don't have hardware, or if you are at a different place, or whatever, you'll be able to play the same games on whatever via the cloud. That's actually pretty cool. Like, good job, Microsoft.
Right. They didn't specifically say that there will be a separate SKU yet, or if there will be.
Right.
So we don't know.
Yes.
on
Like a
there.
more expensive subscription that includes both or something. But
Yeah, but one thing I thought was really interesting and kind of cool is the company says that on xCloud, you will be allowed, whether you have Xbox Game Pass or not, you will be allowed to use xCloud for any games that you own.
oh, nice.
So if you're not a Xbox Game Pass subscriber, but yet you have Sea of Thieves or whatever game you've bought, you can go ahead and stream it on xCloud.
Does that now? Would that be like using your Xbox
The
as a
console
server,
streaming,
or is this like just in general?
So the verbiage that they are using right now is when they say xCloud, that means you are streaming from the cloud. When they say console streaming, that's streaming from your console. So they said you can use xCloud. Yes.
Vaguely remember you saying that you could set up your console as an xCloud server.
You can set it up as a server or a stream. Yes. So what I'm meaning is we are talking about xCloud, but when they refer to xCloud right now, they're referring to streaming from Microsoft.
Okay.
When they say something like when you are streaming from your console, that's what those are going to be the differential things right now. So when it says xCloud, yeah, I can just stream whatever on there, on both on there from. So yes, does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll pretend like it does.
I thought that was actually pretty cool. They also said that xCloud is going to be on PC as well. They said it's coming up in this next year. Should be around sometime in year 2020 is when it's coming there. So if you have a low-end PC or anything like that, you can stream your games that way, or a tablet.
Yep.
Or anything else. So cool. Moving on there. It also said that they were trying out xCloud on iOS. Not only was it on iOS, they had a Sony DualShock controllers linked to it as well. So they don't care what Bluetooth controller you use.
Yeah. Well,
Or
I
what
mean,
device.
come on. On iOS, they really don't have a choice. On iOS, they kind of just have to plug into the controller support that Apple built into the OS,
True.
which is like that. Apple controls that. So we're just lucky that Apple now supports actual controllers.
But they did show that you can have the Sony's PlayStation
Yeah.
controller and use that. So
Sweet.
those are the main things that came out of that. Obviously, there were a lot of games, a lot of world premiere games and things like that that are coming. And if you want to see those lists are everywhere. If you just want to hop on and just see what they announced or released. And there were a lot of ID at Xbox, which is the independent developers coming out with things. Rare did come out with a new IP game. Rare is the Microsoft-owned company that does Sea of Thieves. Not only have they been working on Sea of Thieves, they came out with another, people like to call it the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids adventure game.
Pretty much what it is.
It's what it is. But yeah, so you fight ants and...
I gotta also point out, they did show an actual gameplay trailer of Age of Empires 4.
Yes.
And I wanted to mention real quick, for anybody who, like me, loves the Age of Empires franchise and accepts the fact that Age of Empires is and will always be the greatest real-time strategy franchise of all time.
I agree.
Very excited about Age of Empires 4, right? Up until I saw this game trailer and I was like, the heck is that time period? Like, I'm sorry, we already did trebuchets and medieval castles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they, frankly, from the looks of it, they got way too much Rise of Nations in my Age of Empires. Like,
I never
get that-
played Rise of Nations.
Get that crap out of there.
Get the crap out.
And also, it looked like there was way too much Total War in there as well. I'm not convinced.
Yeah,
Honestly.
but they didn't show a lot, so we'll see.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. But
No, I can see the frustration.
I am skeptical. That's okay. I'm just going to play a whole bunch of Age of Kings remastered, and we'll call that good.
Which has come out this week.
They just need to release a remaster of Age of Empire or Age of Mythology now.
I bet they will.
Then I'll be happy.
I bet they will.
I hope they do. Such a great game.
A lot of people are excited for that. But yeah, I got to play that today. Age of Empires 2. It was a lot of fun. So that's the gaming news that I have. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Caleb here.
Awesome. Well, I already talked about Age of Empires 4, so I only have two other things to say. Well, okay, one other thing. Did you want to talk about the other thing? You want okay?
You as in Landon?
I have one other thing. Well, the person I was pointing at that you can totally see I was pointing
Right,
at,
that's
right,
why I
listeners?
was-
That's how you could tell. You could tell. Anyways, there is a game launching on November 19th, Shenmue 3. This is the third game in the Shenmue franchise, just to be absolutely clear. Now, I
This
have
is
heard...
not about a whale, right?
No. No.
Shenmue,
It's a Japanese, like, kind of action RPG styled. Yeah, it's
Japanese version of Shenmue, right?
It's
yeah, totally. It's a whale RPG.
it's kind of the, you know what, we have a shark RPG, so you never know. Anyways, Shenmue 3 it looks an awful lot like Shenmue 2 and Shenmue 1 for anybody who has played the Shenmue games. I have not played them. I have heard them described as basically Yakuza, except super boring. And all right, so there you go. If you're really excited about this, I know that there is a cult following for Shenmue 3, so I just definitely wanted to get out there. Launching on the 19th on PC and PS4. So there you go. I believe Landon has some gaming news for us. You
I
over
know.
there.
Landon
I
with
do.
the one more thing.
I do have gaming news. So, Stadia, the Founders Edition release is coming up this week.
Yes, it is.
On the 19th.
19th. And I just want to go through and talk about the games that are going to be coming at launch. And there's a decent amount, not a ton.
Things are not so dismal as we thought they were.
Yeah, we were originally kind of thinking 12 games because that's what had been said.
Yeah, it was going to hurt.
Then Google was like, well, maybe not. We'll push some more games. So they have 22 games.
Yay.
And the games that are coming at launch are Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Attack on Titan, Final Battle 2, Destiny 2, the collection, Farming Simulator 2019. I know you're big into that, Wes.
Yeah, no.
No?
Farming Simulator?
Heck
come on.
yeah.
No.
Oh, you love it.
It's
No.
your favorite.
You know it.
Anyways, Final Fantasy 15. Oh, wait. Sorry. Final Fantasy XV. There, Caleb. Hey, they've been doing it forever, too.
They have,
So,
yeah.
Football Manager 2020. Grid 2019. Guilt. Just Dance 2020. Another one of Wes's favorites.
Yes.
Kine.
Understands.
Metro Exodus. Mortal Kombat 11. NBA 2K20. Rage 2. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Red Dead Redemption 2. Actually, a pretty big one. Samurai Showdown, which that one and Destiny 2 are available in Stadia Pro only, I believe.
Right.
Next games are Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Thumper, Tomb Raider 2013, Trials Rising, and Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Oh, just Youngblood.
Yep, as of now.
Interesting.
They are.
it's
I
the
think there
newest
are
one.
more coming to that
Right.
franchise. Also, there are
Right.
Doom games coming to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been the big one that was coming, but they pushed that one back.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm still happy about it. Give us
Yeah.
the best game you can, Id.
Right?
Yeah,
I trust you.
absolutely.
I agree.
Those games are coming on the 19th for anybody that pre-ordered the Founders Edition. Everyone else is going to have to wait, I believe, until January.
Yep.
Correct.
So, a decent amount of games. And by the time it comes out to everyone, there's going to be even more games. There's been 20 or 30 more games that have already been announced saying, we're
Yes.
coming, and we're coming early next year. So,
Yep.
Yep.
And the reason for all this is because they do have to redo some things in their games to make it work with Stadia.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
going to be kind of a slower-ish rollout for these games, which makes sense.
It is basically a port to a new console
Yeah.
versus xCloud, where Microsoft basically just has a warehouse full of Xboxes.
Yep.
And I mean,
And
10,
you use one of
10
them.
Bo10s.
10 Bo10s.
And yes, the xCloud thing being on Games Pass is kind of a kick to Stadia's face. But at the same time, I think they're going for different markets.
Yeah,
The
I think that's probably
the
true.
xCloud market is going for people like you, Wes, that are already invested into Xbox. I know you're not going to use it, but people like you that are invested in it that want to keep playing their games all the freaking time.
Yeah.
That are already like heavily invested in Xbox or like Games Pass and stuff like that. Whereas Stadia is more for not necessarily people like me, but someone in between you and I. Not Caleb, because he's kind of in between you and I. But like,
I'm the other part of the triangle who has a PC. So
Yeah.
and I refuse to believe in streaming services, and I think they're of the devil.
well, I'm not saying
That's why I said not
Anyways.
you.
Okay, fair point.
I mean,
Fair
like
point.
No, I get
the
it, I
person
get it.
that has been interested in games but doesn't necessarily want to buy a console and just likes to play on their phone or even on their TV. They can just buy a controller and play on their TV with a Chromecast or on their phone or different things like that. That's the kind of person that Stadia is going for. Whereas, again, I think xCloud is obviously going to be the bigger player here because of the player base that Xbox already has.
Yes. I think that's probably true. I feel like Microsoft is positioning xCloud as an extension of the Xbox ecosystem.
Yes.
And not necessarily something to bring in new players yet. I can definitely see them transitioning more to that kind of thing, but I feel like right now they're focused on getting their existing customers to sign up for the subscription. That's what they're focused on. Whereas Stadia is definitely approaching a different target audience with just people who don't really play games right now, but want to,
And
but
it's also
don't
the
necessarily
people-
see a cheap way to get into it.
And it's also the people that don't necessarily want to buy all the games, because if you get the Stadia subscription, a lot of these games are just there.
Yeah.
They're not ones that you like. Some of them you will have to buy or pay more for Stadia Pro or whatnot.
Right.
But for the most part, a lot of these games are just going to be there and you can play them. And it's easy. It's relatively affordable. You buy the controller, you pay for the subscription, you're good to go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think they definitely do, at the moment, have some difference in their target audience. I think that within a couple of years, we are going to see them competing directly.
Yeah.
But at the moment, they do definitely seem like they're positioned for different segments of the market.
I agree.
So that's all of my gaming news. I did have one more thing that I forgot to mention with the Razr.
Oh, all right.
That is amazing. So some people at The Verge have been playing with the phone for a little bit, as most tech places have been for the last couple days. But they uncovered an Easter egg that gives you what they're calling retro mode. And it's
Oh my gosh,
amazing.
no way. Oh,
It's beautiful.
It basically
Oh,
turns
that's
the
cool.
screen into what an old Razr looked like. It's got the 9-key pad, or what
that's cool.
Can you text with that? Does it have T9?
I mean, from what it looks like, it's a fully functional. Like
Oh.
it is. If you were to buy an original Motorola Razr from 15 years ago, that's what it looks like, and it's amazing. I will have to put a picture in the
job.
show notes because it is great.
Good
Yeah.
job, Razr.
Freaking
Good job.
Motorola knocked that thing out of the park.
Good friggin'
Just
job.
yet another reason why Motorola is doing this right.
Nostalgia bone to the max on that.
Yeah.
Man,
hmm
nice. That is awesome. Well, cool. Is that
That's everything.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. We appreciate it. If you want to make any comments or anything, you can get a hold of us on our website at callingallplatforms.com. If you want to see any cool little streams that we do, stream recaps, or some interesting little bits of reviews, it's on our YouTube channel.
Sure. I mean, there is a YouTube channel. You can go watch videos. It hasn't been updated in a little while because, again, Audacity and the latest version of Mac OS don't like each other very much at the moment, and I'm not paying for actual audio software, so I do have an old Mac. I have realized I have an old MacBook that I could very easily plug my mic into and record to Audacity on that. So it's also possible I'm just lazy.
I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah. We
Anywho,
need to stream too, Wes. Like, come on.
I did text you yesterday.
Okay, yeah, we need to stream games I actually have installed on my computer. And that you have installed on your computer.
Okay,
You
fair
followed
point.
that text up by saying,
Fair
"Oh,
point.
never mind.
Yeah.
It's downloading right now."
Yep. The third time.
Right.
I don't want to talk about it.
And-
So we're gonna move on. Thank you for listening and have a good week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.